What's good, fellas? It's been a minute. Compliments to the new year. We will be discussing the bank reconciliation statement. So what we are going to do is we are going to break it down. We are going to discuss each and every single aspect of it, including the transactions, the theory, whatever. So that's what we're doing in this video. In the next video, we will do the lesson where I demonstrate like what do we do and stuff like that based on the transactions and stuff like that. So for now, we are only going to identify the transactions. Do you guys get that? So basically, the bank reconciliation statement, it also consists of the CPJ and the CRJ. There are CPJ and CRJ transactions in the BRS as well. Okay, so basically, in the bank reconciliation statement, we have the debit side and the credit side. The debit side is favorable for the business. The credit side is favorable for the bank. Alright? The debit side is favorable for the business and the credit side is favorable for the bank. So basically what we do in the bank reconciliation statement, we fix errors that were made. We fix transactions that were made, the errors that were made in the debit side or in the credit side. We're basically fixing errors. We're fixing amounts that were overstated and amounts that were understated, but that falls in the CPJ and CRJ. We will do all of that in a video where I demonstrate, but for now we are just gonna break this thing down and try to get to the bottom of this. Alright, so the first transaction we have is the bank statement from Blue Bank showed a credit balance of 285,697. Alright, this transaction goes to the BRS, the bank reconciliation statement, on the credit side. Alright, I'm just helping you to identify the transactions. The next transaction, the following checks were not yet presented for payment on 31 July 2019. This transaction goes to the BRS on the debit side. You are going to list those amounts, the debit outstanding checks, on the debit side. Alright. Next, check number 56 to the value of 62,260 was sent on 1 December 2018 to AA Appliances Limited as payment for our account. The check was delayed in the post and must be cancelled. A new one will be sent to them. Okay, keep in mind whenever a check is cancelled, alright, whenever a check is cancelled, this transaction goes to the CRJ. Alright, whenever a check is cancelled, a transaction is cancelled, it goes to the CRJ. Alright, next transaction. Barclays Bank had debited the current account of Jacob's Electronic Kitchen Appliances bank statement with the following amounts. Okay, we have the cash deposit fees, credit card fees, service fees, tax levies, interest on debit balance. These transactions, they go to the CPJ. Alright, these are they are bank charges. Okay, they are bank charges, so they go to the CPJ. Whenever you see a transaction about bank charges, just know it goes to the CPJ. Alright, the next transaction, a deposit of 61285 was wrongly credited to Jacob's Electronics Kitchen Appliances bank statement. Okay, this was an error that was made, okay, on the credit side. So how do we fix this error? We fix this error by writing this amount on the debit side. It was supposed to be recorded on the debit side, but it was recorded on the credit side. Alright, these are the type of errors you're going to find when you're doing the bank reconciliation statement. The next transaction, The bank statement showed a debit order of 62984 in favor of Telkom as payment of the business monthly bill. Alright, this is a debit order, it's a CPJ. I assume you guys know what debit orders are. It's like a payment you pay monthly, like for instance, like DSTV. Those are debit orders, so it's a CPJ. Alright. The next transaction, a deposit of 128,578, which was made on 30 July 2019, was not credited to the bank statement of Jacob's Electronic Kitchen Appliances. Alright, it was not credited, so this amount, it goes on the credit side of your BRS. Alright, it goes on the credit side of the BRS. Whenever a transaction says it was not yet credited, it means you are going to record this transaction on the credit side of your BRS. The next transaction, the bank statement showed a monthly stock order of 17314 in favor of Tin Bakery. This was in payment of the owner's account. Alright, this is a CPJ. It's just like the previous transaction of the debit order where I discussed, where I made an example of DSTV. It's the same as this one. Alright, sometimes these transactions, they repeat themselves, but in a different scenario. So, it's a debit order, it goes to the CPJ. Next transaction, Ventolin deposited 123,641 directly into the current account of Jacob's Electronic Kitchen Appliances in payment of her account. So in this instance, the business is receiving money. Okay, the business that's receiving money is Jacob's Electronic Kitchen Appliances. Okay, this is basically about this company. This is the BRS for this company. This is the company, the business we are discussing. Alright, so they are receiving money from Ventolin, so it will be recorded on the CRJ. Alright. Next transaction, a check of 75678 received from a debtor, Jules K, was dishonored by the bank due to insufficient funds. Alright, when a check is dishonored or it's insufficient funds, it's recorded in the CPJ. Whenever you come across this transaction, it's recorded in the CPJ. Dishonored checks, insufficient funds, it goes to the CPJ. Alright, next transaction, an EFT of 98467 was made into the business current account. The bank statement revealed that it was the maturity of a fixed deposit at Barclays Bank. Okay, so basically Jacob's Electronics Kitchen is receiving money here, so it will be recorded on the CRJ. Alright, did you guys get that? It will be recorded in the CRJ. Next transaction, check number 97 was incorrectly entered in cash payments journal as 1709 instead of 17697. The check was issued to Eskom. Alright, this is an instance of an amount that was understated. The amount that was written, it was lower than the original amount. So when a transaction is like this, you will record it on your CPJ. I will get into detail during a video I'm about to do where I demonstrate everything. Basically here, we were just breaking the transactions down so that you can understand what's happening. Alright, so it will be recorded on the CPJ. Alright. Alright, yeah, it is the CPJ. Are you guys fine? Like, comment, subscribe. Holla back.